All right, good morning and welcome. It's Corporate Governance Platform brought to you by the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, IZEN. I am Funmi Omoburio. Let me remind you that IZEN is the leading recognized professional body in Nigeria that is dedicated to enhancing status and practice of corporate governance and public administration. It's the only professional body authorized in Nigeria to conduct examinations leading to the qualification of chartered secretaries and administrators. On the program this morning, we want to look at the role of the company secretary as the board's conscience and linchpin to effective governance. Our guest is Mr. OLADAYO AKINLEMIBOLA, ACIS, his Secretary Logistics Committee of the Institute and Financial Secretary, Lagos State Chapter of the Institute. Good morning, Mr. AKINLEMIBOLA.
Good morning, madam. Thank you. Thank you for having me this morning.
All right, thank you for joining us. With me in the studio is Mr. Akumefula Ojiji, Senior Manager Operations, IZEN. Good morning, Mr. Ojiji.
Good morning, Fumi. Good morning, our listeners. Good morning, Mr. OLADAYO AKINLEMIBOLA.
All right, so we're going to take this message and we'll be right back.
The world is constantly evolving into a knowledge-based economy where skills and competencies constitutes the lifeblood of public and corporate governance. You therefore need to empower yourself to fit into this new world by gaining basic knowledge and improving your skill set in the governance-focused disciplines. That is why every aspiring as well as practicing professional in governance field needs IZEN.
IZEN. What is IZEN?
IZEN is a leading statutorily established professional body dedicated to enhancing the status and practice of corporate governance and public administration. IZEN members are trained as chartered secretaries and administrators.
Who are chartered secretaries and administrators?
Chartered secretaries are high-ranking governance professionals with a broad base of skills, unique amongst other professions. They are trained in law, finance, accounting, administration, strategy development, and corporate governance. In today's world, chartered secretaries and administrators discharge a wide range of duties and responsibilities, including functioning as chairmen of companies, executive directors, non-executive directors, company secretaries, risk managers, compliance managers, board evaluators, and corporate governance evaluators.
That is interesting. How then do I become a chartered secretary and administrator?
Good. Go to the Institute's website, www.ixan.org. You can also visit the National Secretariat of IZEN at Plot 6, Elephant Cement Way, Alausa, Ikeja, Lagos, to get full information on how to become members. IZEN, the hub of governance professionals.
All right, so corporate governance platform right here. And I said earlier, role of the company secretary as the board's conscience and linchpin to effective governance is a focus this morning. All right, Mr. AKINLEMIBOLA. Now let's look at the role of a company secretary. What role do they normally play in an organization? Hello, Mr. AKINLEMIBOLA. Mr. AKINLEMIBOLA, can you hear me? The line is a bit muffled. I don't know. The line is a bit muffled. I guess it might just be the network from his side. Let's see if we can, of course, re-establish the contact again. Mr. AKINLEMIBOLA, can you hear me?
Very clearly, madam.
All right, great. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so I'll try to be as clear as possible to especially our listeners who may not, have heard this program before or are just, just wondering who a company secretary is.
Okay.
Now, in every company you have a board of directors. Now, if I were to do a representation of that on the human body, the board will probably be the head of the person. The arms of that person, the directors will represent the arms of that person. However, the company secretary is the heart of every organization is the heart. You can liken it to the heart of a person. So it is the heart that pumps blood, that make sure that all the other parts of the body function effectively. So basically, the company secretary owes a duty to various stakeholders, owes a duty to the management and the board of directors, the shareholders of the company, the regulators. If you have investors, the company secretary is that person who is the go-to person for all these people. So in specific terms, the company secretary is responsible for compliance. When we say compliance, we're talking about, meeting up with the requirements of the law. What does the law say? Every company should do things like your annual general meeting, your board meeting, reporting your financials, filing your financial statements within time, reaching out to your regulators, keeping the shareholders abreast of what's going on in the company. Those are the core duties and the role of the company secretary in every company. So, the company secretary is that person that galvanizes, that is the epitome, is the go-to person, like I said. The company secretary, receives the information from various sources, keeps the record, and then disseminates the information as and when due. Thank you very much.
All right, great. The Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020, relieves small companies from the obligation to appoint a company secretary. If in spite of this, a small company decides to appoint one, what advantages does such companies stand to gain?
Oh, thank you very much. Once again, I'll say this. For emphasis, we need to clarify what a small company is. Now, according to CAMA, in the new CAMA, that's the 2020 CAMA, a small company is one defined as a company that is private, as a private company, that's its turnover is less than 120 million, or just about 120 million per annum. The net assets are less than 60 million. Does not have any alien assets. There's no foreign, maybe shareholder or a foreign director or things like that. And the directors own at least 51% of the company. So now all these factors are taken conjunctively. That is, you must satisfy all these criteria to be regarded as a small company. So if you satisfy this criteria, the law says you as a small company. Now, the law says you do not necessarily have to have a company secretary. But when you now decide to have one, now the advantage is numerous. Now remember that every company is a going concern. That means it is supposed to outlive, the proprietor or the proprietors or the shareholder or the people that the founders of the company, so to say. So one of the ways of ensuring that is to ensure corporate governance in any company. Now, corporate governance is not just the fact that you have to adhere to some setting codes and things like that. Corporate governance ensures that the company survives from generation to generation. So the company secretary is that person who is the corporate governance expert. Is that person that advises the company on steps to take, on ways to remain compliant, on ways take, for instance, little things like the fact that you separate the chairman of the board from the managing director. Those little, it may seem little because in most places the chairman is practically the managing director anyway, the alter ego. So unfortunately, when something happens to the chairman, the companies usually die on. So the various codes, state that you should separate these two offices, so that there's no friction, and then the company is able to move from generation to generation without any issues. You separate these two offices so that the company functions properly, and then the chairman would always be the check against the directors. So that is how. So when a small company appoints a company secretary, it gives that opportunity to practice real, company, if there's any such word, the corporate governance aspect of it, brings it into the company, and then the company is able to move from one stage to another. I believe try to
all right, sure. Before I let you go, let's look at the company secretary being often referred to as the sounding board on corporate governance. Can we look at the reason behind this?
Yes, thank you very much. Now, a sounding board, if you Google it basically means, like that's a backdrop that is used to project the sound or the voice of a speaker, so to say. So now, the company secretary, like I said before, is responsible for keeping records and disseminating information. So where the board or the management of the company is about to embark on any task or do anything in the company, it is the company secretary's job to disseminate the information, to gather this information from the various units, spread it across to the various units that need it, and also reach out to the various stakeholders to ensure that everything is done in line, it is done the way it should be done. Because he is the source of knowledge, and recourse is often asked to him for guidance. So he's basically the person that everybody goes to get things done. So without an effective company secretary, the voice of the company may not be heard the proper way it should be, basically. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. OLADAYO AKINLEMIBOLA, ICIS Secretary, Logistics Committee of the Institute of Financial Secretary, Lagos State Chapter IZEN. Thank you for joining us on Corporate Governance Platform this morning.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Ojiji, we have some announcements.
Yes, we do. Thank you very much, Fumi. Dear listeners, we are pleased to inform you that the annual conference week of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, IZEN, will be flagged off with a fitness/work for life on Saturday, 10th September 2022. The takeoff point is the National Secretariat at Plot 6, Elephant Cement Way, Alausa. Now, at this event, there will be aerobics, health talk, and dance session between 7 and 8 a.m. And thereafter, the 3-kilometer walk will commence at 8 a.m. So we enjoin us all to please make it a date this Saturday. Come out in your workout gear and take part in the fitness walk for life. And then thereafter, on Thursday, 15th of September, we'll dive straight into the conference of the Institute. The theme of the conference is the National Debt Burden, Causes, Effects, and Realistic Economic Solutions. The date is Thursday, 15th. And then on Friday, we also have the dinner. The event, it will take place at Share Hall Museum Center, and of course it's going to be a hybrid, so people can join virtually, and the time is 10 a.m. on Thursday, and then for the dinner at 6 p.m. Now, the keynote speaker for the conference is Mr. Ben Akabweze, Director General, Budget Office of the Federation, FCT, Abuja, while the chairman of opening ceremonies is Mr. Babatunde Raji Fashola, SAN, Honorable Minister for Works and Housing. And thereafter, we'll go on to the plenary sessions where we have invited seasoned speakers who will do justice to the theme and the various sub-themes of the event. And then on Friday at the dinner/awards, we'll also be giving awards to deserving recipients. And the chairman of the dinner is Prince Yemi Adefolu, MFR, FCIS, the chairman of council, Taisholarin College of Education, Ogun State. And then the guest of honor for that dinner/awards is the Honorable Femi Bajabiamila, Speaker of the House of Representatives. Now, for further information on this conference and awards and the Work for Life, please call Florence on 080-323-69300. I take it again. Call Florence on 080-323-69300. We look forward to having you on Saturday at the Fitness for Work for Life and the conference and dinner. It promises to be interesting. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Akumefula Ojiji, Senior Manager Operations, IZEN. And that's a package this morning on Corporate Governance Platform, brought to you by the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, IZEN. We'll return again next week, Wednesday, 10:15 a.m., right here on Equity 9.7 FM. I am Funmi Omoburiu. Enjoy the rest of the day.
We've got your back, that's why we bring the best for you.